Good morning, dear learners. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me, your English teacher. So, in the first episode today, we'll be discussing the poem My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das. As you know, Kamala Das, always known by the name Madhavi Kutti, she's born in Malabar. She's an Indian English writer known for the originality of her works. She's a very sensitive writer, often criticized for her works. She captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. The poem, My Mother at 66, brings out the reality of inescapable aging, decay, and death through a simple incident. The poet undergoes a plethora of emotions when she sees her aging mother and feels a pang of separation at the thought of losing her. The poem is written in a single sentence which indicates the single thread of thought. The loss of beauty and charm and the approaching death of her mother is clearly shown. She brings out a common paradox of human relationships and portrays a sensational separation of a mother and a daughter. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doze, open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at the young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, See you soon, Amma, and I did was smile and smile and smile. Getting into the poem, we can see the poet is driving from her parents' home to Cochin airport by car, and her mother is by her side. So the mother, she is dozing, open mouthed, and she seems to be very pale, colorless, and frail like a dead body. So, seeing that frail mother, the poet is feeling that her end was near. The poet looks at her and feels intense pain and agony to realize that soon death will cast her mother away from her. She tries to divert her mind, looking out at the young trees and happy children bursting out of their houses in a playful mood. So, looking at these images, she is making a contrast of her old mother. After the security check at the airport, she looked again at her mother's face, pale and cold. So now she's getting a familiar ache. So there's a word, a familiar ache, my childhood's fear. So from childhood itself, the poet was having a fear of losing the mother, and now the poet is telling that that same old childhood fear had returned to her. The poet had always had a very intimate and close relationship with her mother, and she had always felt the fear of being separated from her mother. So that pain seems to be very familiar to the poet. The poet reassures her mother that they'll meet again soon, and she, towards the end of the poem, you can see she's smiling and smiling and smiling. So, that smile, it is used to hide her feeling, and she's giving an assurance to the mother that they'll meet again soon, even if the poet is having no hope about.